Hello everybody, it is May 25th, 2024, and that means that it has been 5 years since we purchased this 2019 Toyota RAV4. May 25th, 2019, we bought this car brand new, or leased it rather, at Spartan Toyota. In 2022, we bought it outright. And here it is. And yes, if you didn't figure it out, we bought this car and the Jetta within a week of each other. So, yeah, I guess I'll give you a 5-year update video here. So, this is a 2019 RAV4. This was the first year of this body style. When we bought it, we were one of the only people in town at that point that had one of this body style, and now we have the oldest of this body style. It is a little dirty, so forgive that. Still riding on the original tires. These are Michelin Primacy All Seasons. They're 225, 65, 17, and they have steel wheels with plastic wheel covers. I believe the exterior color is ruby red flare or ruby red pearl, but still looks good. I think they've done a facelift on this body style, and I think they're redesigning it next year, so we're not going to have the most current one. But it's definitely good looking. I'd say in terms of especially the previous RAV4s, this is a lot nicer looking than the previous generation to this. You can see it does have some scratches here. It's a little marked up, you can see here. This was from the garage door going down on it, but for the most part, there's no dents or anything. You know, it's in good condition. My mom absolutely loves this thing. She does not want to get rid of it. This is the third RAV4 she's owned. She's owned RAV4s for actually 10 years now. She got her first one in 2014. So, yeah. Good looking little car, though. As much as I like to crap on crossovers, at least this one looks nice. And then as you saw, it's the LE trim level, which is the most basic one. We didn't want any of the fancy bells and whistles. We wanted the least expensive one we could get. I believe the only feature this thing actually has is a safety sensing package or something, but in terms of actual features, it's a basic one, base model. So here's the key. Very basic flip style Toyota key. We have the other one, but this is our main one. Flashes, you can see where fog lights would be. It's got the mirror indicators as well. So we'll go inside. Door panel, pretty simple. Here is the interior. It's a black cloth interior. You can see we have the RAV4 floor mats. We bought this car May 25th, 2019. I believe it had about 30 miles on it, and it is currently sitting at 35,550 miles. So we really haven't put that many miles on this car. But with that said, I'll go ahead and I'll start it up here on camera. And here we go. Starts up great. There's the little screen coming on. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll flip on the headlights. It does have daytime running lights, as you can see, and you can turn them off. Flip the headlights on, turn the hazards on, and I'll go ahead and I'll pop the hood. All the windows are automatic down and up, and I'll show you the lighting and the engine. Mirror indicators. It has LED headlights, high beam and low beam, as well as daytime running lights. The turn signals are halogen. These headlights are very bright. It also has automatic high beams, meaning that you can set the high beams to where they will go on and off depending on whether there's a car coming at you. It's got a little camera thing. Around the back, it has LED running lights and tail lights, halogen turn signals, LED brake lights, third brake light. I will say, I don't know that this taillight design is the best, because if you're following this car at a large distance, if they brake and put their turn signal on, the turn signal bulb and the brake light kind of mesh together, even though they're different colors. So, minor thing, but, you know, small things like that. But I'll go ahead and I'll open the hood here. The hood on this thing, you gotta kind of lift up on it, otherwise it has a tendency to get stuck. This thing has a 2.5 liter inline 4-cylinder. I believe it's the 2A RFE engine, but it's naturally aspirated, naturally, you know, there's no supercharging, turbocharging, nothing like that. It still has a prop rod, no strut to fail. But this engine is very good. It's actually pretty powerful for how small it is, and you can see there's plenty of room around it to get to everything. It uses a timing chain second battery. Original one died in 2023. Fuel economy on this in the city is around 25-ish, 24, 25. On the highway, it gets about 32, 33. So actually pretty good fuel economy for a small SUV. Of course, if you drive it aggressively, you'll go down to about 21, 22, but very light hood as well. So yeah, very, very good engine. We've had no problems with this engine. So now we will go ahead and go inside here. Go ahead and turn that off. Hazards. You can see the high beam, low beam. Got your window switches here. Window lockout, lock and unlock, your mirror controls, door pocket. This is for your automatic high beams, your gauge dimmer, storage cubby here. Got your vent, which you can turn on and off. Very, very loose, easy power steering. Very loose and easy. Very aggressive horn. Steering wheel controls, you got your cruise control. This thing has laser guided cruise control as well as adaptive. Turn signals, very easy. You have your gauge cluster, which is pretty simple. You have your tachometer and your temperature on the left, although with the sun glare, it's kind of hard to see. Your blind spot monitoring light. And on the right, you have your speedometer and your fuel gauge, as well as your little seatbelt light. In the middle, you have your thermometer, your time, blind spot monitoring, lane departure warning, which if you start to depart from the lane, it will beep at you and light up whichever side you're leaving. You have your digital speed, your distance to empty, your gear, and your odometer. You can also change what you see. There's kind of a view of the car, your trip information, all of your different sensors, which you can turn on and off from the screen and the settings. And then you have your little messages. If you have like low washer fluid, it'll show up there, and then back to your speed. And then if you pick eco mode or sport mode, it will light up. It's kind of hard to see, but green or red, depending on what you have. Wiper controls here. Very simple. Your rear wiper, which you just turn the little end of this to operate. Smooth dashboard. You have your infotainment screen here, which is I don't love how it kind of just sticks up like this. It would be nicer if it was more integrated like the previous generation, but it's not loose or anything. Got your audio information, which you can turn the radio on and it'll come on, and then if it's if it has the digital readout of the song, it'll come up right here. This station doesn't have that. Your range information, your fuel economy, that thing is not very accurate. Your phone, if you're Bluetooth connected, Seek, track phone apps. You've got your map information. This thing has Apple CarPlay and all the fancy crap. It's got all the, this is too much to go through in the video, but it's got all kinds of information in there. It's actually a good system compared to some of the other systems I've used in newer cars like Jeep, Subaru, GM, Honda. I've used some of those systems. If I had to live with one every day, I would pick this one. This one is at least somewhat, you know, old person friendly, I guess. It's easy to use and it's not too terribly distracting. It was very quick to pick up on. Sorry about that, I had to switch batteries. But yeah, lots of stuff to go through in here. It's way too much to show on video. Hazard button, you've got your little vents. Down here you have your climate controls. This is the basic climate control system. You adjust the fan speed with this. It does take a minute. Let's see if I can aim these out of the microphone. But you got that, your different zones, which you just hit this button to adjust. They adjust quickly. Defrost, you've got your AC button, your temperature, single zone. AC is ice cold in this thing. Ice cold, as it should be for a newer car. You have your traction control off button, which will pop a message up there. Blank switch. Down here you have a cigarette lighter, as well as an aux input, which I appreciate, and a USB jack, and then this has a little door closed. This USB here will charge your phone, but this also works as an input for your CarPlay. Storage here, you have your electronic parking brake, which works, and then to deactivate it, you hit the brake, knock it down. There is a system that comes set to on all newer Toyotas where it will automatically engage and disengage the parking brake when you take it in and out of park. We disabled that because 90% of the time this car is on a flat surface and it's just unnecessary. Your brake hold, which this is a really cool feature. What this does when it's on, oh, well, it won't let me because the seatbelt's unbuckled. But what this does is it will actually set the car to where if you get to a traffic light and you have this engaged, once you're completely stopped, the car will sense that you're stopped, and you can actually take your foot off of the brake pedal completely and the car will hold itself without auto creeping. And then once you tap the gas, it will start to go again. It's actually a cool feature. Eco normal sport mode there, your little change area. Cup holders, very large. You have a very large center console here, which is appreciated. Nothing really to see in here, but it is a huge center console. Right here you have the gear lever for the 8-speed automatic transmission. You can hear the doors automatically lock and unlock. You have your manual shift, which it defaults to 4th gear for some reason, but you can go all the way up to 8, then back to D. You also have a backup camera here, which this particular vehicle does not move the lines when you turn the steering wheel. Some of them will, but yeah, very good transmission. In fact, I think this thing having an 8-speed is what contributes to it feeling so quick, is it can shift real quick like that. But yeah, pretty cool gear lever too. Just moved back because we're on a hill, but yeah, a little bit of wear starting. Funny that they still had a shift boot in 2019, considering the old RAV4s we had a shifter without a shift boot, and it did not have the, what do you call it, the Toyota, like the jigsaw shifter, where you go like this to move it, which, yeah, Toyota likes their jigsaw shifters. You have a little tray here for storage. It's not that tall, but glasses fit there. Your glove box, which is kind of full. Your big manual. Pretty big glove box, though. It's full now, but it actually goes pretty far back, so that's nice. Got your rear view mirror here, manually dimming. Can adjust it. Very easy to see out of. You have your glasses case right here, which is pretty small, but it'll fit some glasses. Your SOS button here, which, you know, just stays. Dome lights, which you can turn on and off. Your little door light, and then your lights on. And then, obviously, you know, you open the door and they come on. Little speaker. Right here you have the sun visors, which are very solid. There's a mirror and a light, which when you shut this and then pull it out, it doesn't slide or anything, but fits nice and tight. Headliners, not too terribly movable. Little American looking there. Not great, but whatever. So that's pretty much it up here. I guess I'll go ahead and rev it now so you can hear it, and I'll see if I can shield this. Definitely has that 4-cylinder sound, and it has the thing because it's got the electronic pedal where when you just blip it, it stays up for a little longer. So, yeah. But I think that's really all there is to show up here. Pretty much showed everything, so I'll roll the window back up and I'll go ahead and shut it down. Hear the vent moving. There it went. Go ahead and show you the back. One thing I forgot to show you, this being an LE has completely manual seats. You've got your back adjustment, your height adjustment, which this lever is one of the only things that broke. We had to order a replacement one, and then your slide. That seat doesn't even have a height adjustment, but close that. Open this. You've got your child locks. And I'll go ahead and get in back here. And I am 5'8", and this back seat is very, very large for a small, compact SUV. I mean, I can basically completely lay down here. Now, granted, this seat here is up a pretty decent amount. It's where I would sit. So, may not be as big for someone who's tall. This seat is all the way back, and you can see there's less room. But, back here you've got a cigarette lighter, which is nice. Little storage. You have adjustable seat belts, which is handy. The retractors are still pretty much brand new. Your headrests, which you can lower. Headliner's in good shape. You got a light back here. The RAV4s have always had it way back here. Very large middle seat with the 3-point seat belt. You have cup holders here with an armrest. This is a split folding seat. You can see this seat actually is reclined a little. These seats recline. So that's nice, but yeah, plenty of room back here. And another bonus, which I'm not gonna show, but these windows do go all the way down. So that's a nice bonus. When you buy a Toyota, you get windows that go all the way down. And of course, like no rust or anything, obviously. But you can move this and the seats fold flat and then they go back and they recline. So that's pretty nice. Show you the fuel door. One thing I don't appreciate is that the fuel door release is right here next to the hood release, and there have definitely been times when I was first driving this car where I had to look, but they did attempt to make the fuel door one feel a little bit different. It's got a bump on it. Big fuel door right there. I believe it is I want to say a 16-gallon tank. I think it's either 15 or 16. I'll put a little note in here. I think it's a 15. But we get about 420 miles on it. So, yeah. Back here, trunk is manual. There's the backup camera. Obviously, trunk's manual. Nice big opening. Goes up a lot. Pretty good amount of storage back here. You've got your little compartment for cleaning, which looks like this one's popped out a little because you can take this panel out. It does have a sunshade that would fit there and there, which is hidden under the RAV4 floor mat here. Got your donut. It's a little spare tire in the jack. It's a Maxxis brand, which is ironically the same brand my van has. 2 of 2019. Here's the sunshade. It fits down here, but we don't use it, so it stays. I believe that's an option, but like our 2014 RAV4 LE had it, but our 2016 LE didn't, and this one does. But it loops in right there. So, yeah. Not really much else to see. You got some cargo tie downs, and that's pretty much it. Just because I figured someone wants to see it, here's the cargo net. Really not much to see. And then it kind of does that. Well, not really, but yeah. Not that hard to implement, just 2 hands. But yeah, only Toyota would think of that, I feel like. Put the, you know, the little cover down there, and then got your hard plastic layer with some bags and then the floor mat. But there is plenty of room here. And then the back seat, when it's folded down, well, that side's not going to go down all the way, but yeah, lots of room for a car this small. And you do have your little dome light, so that is the trunk. I will say that you do have to kind of slam it, otherwise it won't really go down. All right, let's move to this side here. This back seat is all the way back, so you'll see here. Ironically enough, again, I'm 5'8". Even still, with this seat all the way back, my knees don't even touch the seat. So that, I mean, think of another car where you can have the seat this far back, all the way back, and still, I mean, it's pretty freaking nice. Storage. Of course, it would be more comfortable if it wasn't all the way back, but whatever. You got your bars with your hooks. Both sides have it. Door pockets. Yeah, pretty nice back seat. And the passenger side, there's your blind spot mirror. This seat again is all the way back, and with it all the way back, there's your RAV4 floor mat, kind of dirty, because my mom does not put all-weather mats in here. This seat is very, very comfortable. Adjustable seat belts again, bars, your little visor. Plenty of room, very comfortable. This is a very comfortable car to ride around, and even if you move the seat up a decent bit, still, these seats, you wouldn't think that they're that comfortable, but they actually are. I give Toyota credit. These are very comfortable seats. Much nicer than the previous generation. Better view of the glove box there. So, yeah. That's pretty much it. So, yeah. I'm going to, essentially, this is probably going to be a bad idea because I'm not going to have someone riding with me, but I'm going to attempt to see if I can get you a little POV test drive, third person. So I'm going to get my tripod set up and going to give you an idea of what it's like to drive this car around. Stay tuned. Okay, I think I've got the camera positioned, fingers crossed, decently. I don't have anyone riding back there with me, so I'm trying to balance it. The tripod is probably going to squeak. I can't fix that. Let's just see if we can get some driving footage here. this curve again. I'll drop the hammer for a minute so you can hear what it sounds like under a load if no one's coming. All right, here we go. Alright, well, I tried. You're just gonna have to ignore the frickin', you know, the creaking and the moving and whatever. I tried, but anyway, that's it. A 5-year update video on this wonderful 2019 Toyota RAV4. Hasn't given us an ounce of trouble since, and I'm sure we'll continue to have it for many, many more years to come. So, thank you for watching. Feel free to subscribe and click like if you like what you see, and follow me on the web at isaac24.com. Bye-bye.